Valkyria Chronicles is the type of game that can't be easily placed into conventional genres. Upon booting it up, you're immediately greeted by its beautiful and distinctive art style, a stylish blend of anime and watercolor that looks gorgeous. Then you get into the gameplay, which is an elegant mix of strategy RPGs and third-person shooters. In other words, it's already awesome. First of all, the presentation of Valkyria Chronicles is fantastic. The entire interface is contained within a fictitious book called On the Gallian Front, a text that details the Second European War between two superpowers, and the small neutral country of Gallia that's caught in the middle. Not only does the story unfold as chapters in this book, but any cutscene, character conversation, weapon readout, or general info about the world can be accessed here. The entire world is really fleshed out through this dynamic, and the overall effect is very classy. This level of polish continues on to the graphics themselves. Tiny details are apparent all over the place. You would expect this level of detail in the main story characters, but such luxury is apparent in everyone, from the humble scout to your two main characters of Alicia and Welkin. This, above all else, introduces a human element to the war that not only enriches the gameplay, but complements the story. And war is the central theme of Valkyria Chronicles. The story is exceptionally well told, and the expansive cast of characters is very colorful. A lot of war stories gloss over that human element, but thankfully, Valkyria Chronicles doesn't. Morality isn't clear-cut, everyone is fighting for a reason, and each character has his or her own faults. The subject of racism also makes up a prevalent subplot, and everything is addressed with a high level of maturity. As mentioned before, the gameplay is a mix of strategy RPGs and third-person shooters, and it works extremely well. The result is that you're given a pool of command points to take control of units directly during a player phase. And then you kind of dive into the unit from a third-person perspective upon spending those command points. Your movement is limited by an action gauge, and unit placement is a very important consideration. Things like terrain and cover make a huge difference. Once you move your soldier into a good position, you can then manually take aim at enemy units, and aiming does matter, even though accuracy is partially stat-based. Add in the fact that there are 5 classes with different abilities, numerous tech trees for your soldiers and tanks, and certain characters work better with each other depending on likes and dislikes. There's a lot of strategy to think about here. Now, this complexity never bogs you down, but it does require a lot of foresight. If one of your side characters gets knocked unconscious and you don't get to them in 3 turns, they're gone for good. This makes keeping your soldiers alive a very pressing matter. Luckily, you level up the classes and not the specific characters, which is a smart system that lets you swap out people without losing an individual's experience. The one small complaint I have about all this is that during the enemy's phase, you become a passive observer of all their movements. This isn't in itself bad, but it's the fact that you can't pause during this sequence that's annoying. Not a big deal by any means, but it can be bothersome. Valkyria Chronicles is a fun, rewarding, and thought-provoking game with amazing style and grace. The music is gorgeous, the loading is speedy after the optional install, and I've only encountered minor frame rate problems a handful of times. This game comes highly recommended, and gaming fans of all kinds can find something to enjoy in the exquisitely rendered country of Gallia. For the full written review, head over to IGN.com.